Here.
Dean Ford?
Here.
Tim Rockingham?
Not present.
Not present, okay. And then I have Mikhail.
Here.
Yep, Mikhail's here. So he'd be stepping in for Tim.
Yep, here.
Okay. And then when I'm here, I'm in Florida by myself. Mikhail, you'll sit in tonight to replace Val.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I got everybody.
Yep.
Perfect. All right, so first on the agenda is the minutes of November 8th.
Oh.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Okay. Thanks. So the motion on the table approve all of them or just one, Eric?
No, November 8th.
Oh, okay. It's
I'll
November
make
8th.
a motion to approve the minutes of November 8th.
Is there a second? Motion's made second. Any discussion?
So just, discussion point, it's got to be a roll call, given your,
Yeah.
yep.
Yep. Yep. Is there any discussion? All right, hearing none, I will do the roll call vote. Jeff Goldman.
Aye.
Patrick Reynolds.
Aye.
Scott Blackstone.
Aye.
Jane Ford.
Aye.
Jane, you were not present at that meeting, so you probably should abstain.
No, she was. I was there. She was here.
Oh, on November 8th?
November 8th. Yeah.
Okay. It says Memphis absent, Jane Ford and Tim. You were there? Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
And
You have to make to the minutes.
yeah, and the member can still vote on it even if they weren't there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Tim?
Tim's not here.
Oh, Tim's not there, that's right.
Yep.
And Mikhail?
Aye.
All right.
And you?
So it looks like the motion passes.
Eric, Evo, yes?
Marvin?
Yep.
I vote aye.
Okay.
Passes 6-0, I have.
Yep.
Yep. Alrighty, next is the December 13th, 2022 minutes. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of December 15th. Is that right?
Good.
13th, sorry. 13th.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, motion's made and seconded. Any discussion? Any edits? All right, hearing none, I'll go through the roll call. Jane Ford,
Aye.
Patrick Reynolds,
Aye.
Scott Blackstone,
Aye.
Jeff Goldnoff.
I will abstain.
I'm sorry,
Abstain. I was
abstain. Okay, yeah, we couldn't hear you. And Mikhail Zahorik.
I wasn't present, so I abstain.
Okay, and myself, Eric Bodman, I vote in favor. So the motion passes 4-0 with 2 my count.
Yep. Perfect.
Okay, next is the minutes of the January 10th, 2023 meeting. I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of January 10th.
Second.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Comments or edits? All right, hearing none, I will do the roll call. Scott Blackstone,
Aye.
Jane Ford,
Aye.
Jeff Goldnoff,
Aye.
Rick Reynolds,
Aye.
Mikhail Zahorik,
Aye.
Eric Bodman, I vote aye. So that motion passes 6-0. 6-0. Thank you all. All right, Mark, I can't
There's no one present this evening.
Okay, then I was gonna take a couple things out of order, but I won't have to do that. All right, so Jen is reciprocal SA 674, code 35, and 676 for LD, and appendix B, site plan of the municipal code of the town of Newmarket, New Hampshire. There will be a continuation of a public hearing for an application for major site plan review requested by SCG Management Corp. / Second Bennett Way Limited Partnership for property located at 4 Bennett Way, Exmouth. U4 lot -11 within the B1 zoning district. The approved application seeks approval to develop the east side of the parcel with a 2-story building with associated parking and amenities. Bob, my understanding is that they've asked for continuance.
That's correct, Eric. So the applicant and the town are working together to figure out some drainage issues. And there's this pipe that's leading out of the lot that goes towards Terrace Drive. And there's some flooding issues right now there during large events, even medium events, size events, kind of near the housing authority. And where the cemetery is and the housing authority, there's a big puddle there that happens a lot. So we're trying to figure out why that happens and if this lot is contributing to that. And right now we were trying to snake it today and it got clogged. So regardless, town and the applicant are trying to problem solve it and just make sure we have the right information in the planning board. So in light of that, the applicant has requested a continuance to the next meeting. I'm looking that up right now when that is.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you what that is,
Yeah.
certain, so.
Let me find it. And I don't have permission to access it. Hold on. Yeah. It's not.
Should be.
No, that's town meeting day. Yeah, you're right. So I think it was, we had it.
Or,
Yeah.
so the 21st?
Just trying to look at the schedule, but it won't let me open it.
Because normally would have been the 14th.
Right. I believe it's the 21st.
Yeah, 21st
Yeah.
would be the next one, yep.
Yep. So March 21st.
Okay, I will then entertain a motion to continue this public hearing to March 21st. Then, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion that we extend it to March 21st.
I'll
Is there
second.
a second?
You get that, I seconded, Eric.
Oh, I'm sorry, I did not hear that, thank you. Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, I will do the roll call. Scott Blackstone,
Aye.
Dane Ford,
Aye.
Jeff Goldnoff,
I'm going to abstain as I typically recuse from this discussion.
okay, Patrick Reynolds,
Aye.
Counselor Horick,
Aye.
and Eric Bowman, I vote aye, so the motion passes 5-0-1. One abstention. Thank you all. Next on the agenda is pursuant to RSA 674:39A and Appendix A, subdivisions of the municipal code of the town of Newmarket, New Hampshire. The planning board shall hear a request for a merger from Walter Cheney Jr. of Cheney Management Corporation. Receives approval to finalize the voluntary merger between 50 to 56 Exeter Road, tax maps U3-11 and U4-15 with the M2A tenant.
So,
Would you please
Yep.
just walk the board through this
Sure.
briefly?
yep, so board's pretty familiar with this project. This is the mixed-use development that's along Exeter Road, kind of butts the railroad, and then, going further south towards the Bennett Way.
Just the brick building.
This is no, it's a vacant lot right now.
Okay.
And so Plan Board has approved this project. One of the conditions of approval is they do a voluntary lot merge. For some reason, it didn't happen during the original approval process, so it was one of the conditions of approval. So this is really, one of satisfying that, and all they're doing is merging the lots together so the project is complete. So nothing more than that. So just checking off that box so they can move forward.
So this is basically cleaning up of the approval that the board made actually now quite a few years ago.
Yep, exactly.
So this is not a public hearing, Bart?
Nope,
No.
nope. It's not a public hearing at all.
Okay. So does any board members have any questions relative to this I guess to Bart? Bart would have the information if anybody has any questions. Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to approve the lot merger.
Do you have a question, Jeff?
So I was unaware that we voted on them. I thought they were just legal and could happen.
Yeah, it has to go through the planning board, and then you basically give the authority. The motion would be to give planning board chair the authority to sign off on the merger. Yeah.
We've already approved the whole thing, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So this is really just a formality.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we give the chairman the authority to approve the lot merger.
Is there a second?
Second?
Seconded by Jane. Any discussion? All right, I will go through Scott Blackstone,
Aye.
Jane Ford,
Aye.
Jeff Goldnoff,
I think I need to abstain.
abstain?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Patrick Reynolds,
Aye.
Mikhail Zahorik,
Aye.
Eric Bogdan, I vote aye. So the motion passes 5-0-1 again. Thank you all. And next on the agenda is pursuant to 24-1 zoning ordinance amendment procedures of the municipal code of the town of Newmarket, New Hampshire. The planning board shall review draft language proposed by the Newmarket Town Council to amend draft 32 section -161 historic overlay district of the municipal town code of Newmarket, New Hampshire that seeks to add architectural design requirements within the historic overlay district to take action relative thereto.
Yeah.
So Bob, my understanding is that we're just going to basically continue this. I understand that you've been very busy with stuff, so we don't have all the information together at this point.
Right. Yeah. So I did find that document though, the historical registry. So that, but it's like 200 megabytes, so I couldn't email it. So what I'm going to do is create a Dropbox for everyone so they can access it easily. For next month, I anticipate having something for the board to review. Right now, there's no public hearing. We're just having a discussion. And then once the board's comfortable moving forward with something, then we can set the public hearing.
Does this file include addresses? I remember last time you said it was the something house or something.
Yep, includes the pictures of the house,
Oh,
addresses, map
okay.
and lot. It has everything.
So that was somebody that had already existed?
Yes.
Oh,
Yep. So we found it, and we'll provide that to the board for their next meeting.
just out of curiosity, who created the file?
Don't remember off the top of my head. I want to say, I have to look. I don't want to misspeak. Yeah.
No, I didn't mean a person though. I was curious, was it the town?
It was the town.
Or was it the
Yeah.
historical
I
society?
believe it was the town or the historical society.
Okay,
It
or
was either
maybe
or.
both,
Yeah.
yeah.
So there's no action right now. So for the board to take. So I'll try to have that ready for you for the next meeting.
Okay, so it's not a public hearing or anything, so we really don't need to continue this, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Does anybody else have any other questions for Bart relative to that subject? All right, if not, we'll just move on. Chairman's report, I have nothing new to report. Committee reports, anybody on any committees have any report to give to us?
Energy and Environment has not met, I don't think, since our last meeting, so there's really nothing new to report. The only thing I can say working to create a draft of a master, in addition to the master plan that would include an energy plan. So it's, again, they understand it's just a draft of suggestions that they're making as a committee. It's not like they're saying, we expect anybody to adopt this. It's just they're going through all the work of drafting it so that we can then review it and take a look at it. So I expect they'll finish that in March and then send that along to Bart.
Excellent, thank you.
Yep.
The town council approved a $164,000 bid to do a site evaluation of the various buildings in town and to see how they could be best utilized.
Who's town buildings?
Yeah,
Facility study, correct?
yeah. We approved a renovation on the fire department, so they're going to have now lockers and change rooms and things like that, which they hadn't had before. And
That's for the fire department?
yeah. And we're getting, tomorrow is a town council meeting, and we're having a pre-meeting to have a presentation on this new energy thing, electricity rates. That's it.
Great.
From conservation, I'll say that we approved the Shanda Park concert series for next year.
Yeah.
So that will continue through next summer. Still looking at doing some work at Sliding Rock, some trail improvements out there, considering different options. And then the other thing that I thought was interesting that Bart might know more about is the Connect and Protect. There's a meeting, I understand. Is that on Monday?
Yeah. So Connect and Protect is an organization that helps municipalities kind of utilize expertise from different organizations within the state to target lands that they may want to preserve. Ellen Snyder and I met with them to discuss how they could be helpful to Newmarket. And Tom Jones, yes. So us three had a meeting with them, and we kind of at that brainstorming session kind of figure out a way to move forward, like making more connections with different organizations to better target or identify and target lands, but we're all working simultaneously. We're not working in separate efforts. So the idea is to connect with each other in order to be more efficient in protecting or conserving lands that are deemed to be worthy of that. So it was very fruitful. We're still trying to figure out how they could be of service, but really from that meeting, it really gave us the idea of how we can help ourselves, and as we develop that plan, how Connect and Protect can help us as a resource, mainly through like mapping and whatnot. So that was a very fruitful conversation, and I think good things will come from that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's all I have.
I'm sorry, one quick thing, Scott.
Yeah.
When you talked about the money to go through looking for the improvements to the fire department, is that above and beyond what the capital improvement committee did? Or is that part of it?
It's probably part of it. I don't know for a fact, but it was when they designed the firehouse, they included all this stuff, but then we didn't build it because we didn't have the money at the time. And so now we're going in and basically finishing the building, but it came from the capital improvement fund.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
If we're gonna meet,
Mm-hmm.
we should know that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
That'd be part of the update too that Rick gives us.
perfect.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah. Melansky's over the moon about it. It's like, for him, that was like the golden fleece or something, to get that done.
Well, if he's happy, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, is there anything to add? Bart?
Yeah, just a couple of things. Lindsay Butler and I, we finished a program that was offer to help us build capacity for building support around stormwater funding in general. So we finished that training, and that was really good. So really, it was just giving us the tools to help us have conversations, build coalitions, and understand concerns as we go through the process of securing more stormwater funding in the future. So that was really great. A lot of good strategies, a lot of good connections, and good stuff coming from that. Eric actually participated in one of the interviews, Eric and Val, and stemming from that, this leads to another initiative that the town's doing is, kind of beefing up our communications and outreach. So Eric had a salient point about flooding events, and one of those, he was very worried about that people won't remember the floods as new residents come in and people move out. So they won't understand the severity and how important stormwater and flooding events are to the town and how they want to, kind of increase resiliency. So what we did is we did an on the streets interview. So Lindsay, Tim, Kremen, and myself, we did went on the streets and say people remembered it, how they remember it. So we did on-street interviews, and that video should be coming out soon.
Oh, really?
So the idea is to, create more enthusiasm around municipal government and municipal activities, education, and also kind of have a historical record of a living memory of things that happened in the past, how it differs from each other, and just kind of keeping it going. So I thank Eric for that observation, and I think it'll lead to good things.
What's
Looking forward.
is years ago we had a presentation at the Conservation Commission from someone who was talking about education around sea level rise and flooding events, and they're down by the waterfront in the park.
Yeah.
Had suggested to put like a I don't know if a yardstick or a measuring device. Yeah, and say here's the water level at this flood, and here's what sea level rise could look like, and blah blah blah.
It's funny you bring that up. I think Durham did something similar to that. They had a really different take to it. They kind of had it as a historical marker.
Yeah.
So this is, I don't know, it was this is where this was in the past.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it was kind of an interesting take on how they did it. But yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool if we did something like that. Yeah. Any type of education that's different, that engages people more in different mediums, I think would be very beneficial for the town. So anyways, we have different ideas, not just for stormwater and flooding, but you'll see other videos as well. So again, what we're trying to do is get people engaged, and this is just one of our techniques that we would be using to do that. So so there's that. Update on the ADU ordinance. The first reading is going to be tomorrow at Town Council. There is a slight change to it based on our Town Council lawyer's review. The short-term rental number of days is actually codified in state law, and it has to be 30 days. We can't exceed it. So we changed it from 90 back to 30. So that's the only change that, based on their town attorney's recommendation, that will be made for the Town Council to review. So other than that, it was just cleaned up a little bit, and all the other recommendations are in there that the planning board sent. So stay tuned for that. Encourage you to watch that tomorrow, and I think the public hearing will be 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that's great. It's a real progress. They
I just
threw
like
the
to-
ball to us and we threw it back, right?
And I just like the collaborative nature between council and planning board, and then all the effort the planning board did to make it a good document. So kudos to you guys. So moving forward. And then yesterday, Riverfront Advisory Committee, we met with SRPC, Stratford Regional Planning Commission, and Coastal Resiliency, UNH Extension. And the Coastal Resiliency Grant is coming up. So we kind of had a brainstorming session yesterday on how can we become more competitive in grant funding. And we started putting pieces together of our grant strategy based on different initiatives that the town is doing in order to show the grantors that we have a strategy, we're dedicated to the overall goal of becoming more resilient in different ways, specifically in climate-wise right now for these types of grants. And these are the ways that we're doing that, and we're worthy of being invested. Your investment will reap benefits, dividends. So I thought it was really productive, and we're looking forward to working with them to help us out to, be able to bring in more money from grants, so that we can achieve our goals. So, yeah, that's the updates I got right now, and should have some good news too. Should hear from Invest New Hampshire soon, and then also Plan New Hampshire, a design charrette, that's got kicked to the fall. So I'm very happy that conservation allowed for the concert series to happen, because I'll be down there pedaling it. So doing announcements. Thank you very much. And yeah, so good things are happening. That's all I have.
I did want to say something. I just found out about the Arts in the Park today because I had to call them because we approved it without all the dates. They changed it from 8 weeks to 6 weeks.
Okay.
And they gave me the dates today, and it's in a text message here, and I'll put it in the minutes so that you'll know what those dates are. And they do have the appropriate porta potty.
I have a question for you, Barb. So I think it's almost a week now, we had an oil leak into the Lamprey River.
Yes.
That leaked from a home oil tank, is that correct?
That's correct.
Was that an underground oil tank, do you know, or is that an above
I
ground?
believe it was above.
Okay, do we allow underground oil tanks still at this point, or is that like grandfathered in, or what is the status of
I
underground?
don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
I can find that out. But I believe not. Underground, I don't think are permitted.
Okay.
Yeah, but I can follow up with you for it.
Is there anything else about that oil tank that, was it, do we know, is there a compliance issue, was it just old, or is there anything we should be taking away from that? I'm just wondering about, how we're doing things.
Yeah, the investigation's still continuing right now. DES took over jurisdiction, so they'll be doing remediation, in their final report will be coming out. I'm not sure when, but they'll make those findings, and then there's funds available at the state to do this cleanup.
Mm-hmm.
So for do the initial cleanup, and then there's other actions that the state may take with the homeowner as well. I think there are some takeaways we may want to think about. I don't think prudent to have any recommendations right now, but maybe something worth looking into and having discussions about.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Thank you. Does anybody else have anything else they want to discuss tonight? If not, Jane?
I make a motion, we adjourn.
A second.
Okay, I need to do a roll call for that. So, Scott?
Aye.
James Ford?
Aye.
Jeff Goldberg?
Aye.
Patrick Reynolds?
Aye.
Counselor Lorick?
Aye.
And Eric Bondman, I vote aye. So the motion passes 6-0. Thank you all very much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eric. Have a good night.
Have a good week.